last home game. So really excited about this opportunity. We're so glad we got that Rutgers win. It was a difficult win to get. Got a great team. I've spoken highly about Purdue in here before. They got a little piece of everything that you really need to win a Big Ten championship. And look at the college basketball, the parity throughout the country. That I think if you win the Big Ten championship, you win a national championship. And so Purdue just really has got a great plan. Matt Painter's become a great friend over time, and I just love the way they play the game. So that we're going to have to bring our hard hats. Nobody out hustles them, nobody outworks them, and we're going to have to play a really good defense and offensive game. Played them 2 out of 3. Had a great win here last year. Had a tough loss in the tournament. Glad we're home, but they've been a very, very good road team this year. So it's going to be difficult for us. Senior day, the whole deal. Last home game. We hope we can end it with a win.
Coach, did you have a chance to talk with Spike at all about coming back?
No, we've texted a couple times this year. I do. I would love to have time to talk during the season with all my former players. But at this, no, there's been just a couple of games in January, I think, when a couple of their wins, I texted him out, and he did the same with us.
Just to follow up, have you had a chance or time to follow how he's doing over there this season?
I watch the stats, but I will occasionally look at box scores of other teams. I'm so consumed with just Michigan and our next opponent. I really have, and I'll casually look through the scores every day. And but I just really don't. I don't have time to do that. I just don't have time.
Chris?
A couple things. Congrats to your boy, huh?
Yeah, that was great. That was really good. So for him to be Coach of the Year and get to a nowadays they're in the tournament. They still have to win a couple games. You never be sure, but boy, if they can make the NCAA tournament, it hasn't. I was there 9 years, and we had a lot of 20-win seasons. We went once. So for him to go in 2 years, it's really good.
How much does he do what you do and use what you use?
They play a lot better defense than we do, that's for sure. They really play good defense, and he is really, we talk almost every day by text or by phone call, just about something that might come up. So it's really been good, and they play Sunday at 3, so I'll tune out everything during that time and watch this game.
And talk about I guess because you're not going so deep into the bench right now, are you worried about fatigue at all, and do you think that has anything to do with maybe?
Well, this is a tough stretch, but we did something we've never done. Is yesterday we watched video and went to the weight room only. Nobody, even the All-Stars, the 8 guys that don't play a lot, did not even practice. We felt we needed, and I think it was almost like a day off for us. But this is a tough stretch. I think we'll have 2 days off next week, so that will help us right now. I always worry about everything, but it is difficult for our guys that are playing 36 to 38. But we really have a sort of an NBA mentality. When after a tough game, we want them to just recover. And if you do a good job in your days in between, their bodies are in pretty good shape to be able to withstand it.
Do you think the tired legs could have something to do with the free throws at the end or not?
Could be. It could be. I do not know. I mean, those shots, a couple have been way off, but most of them have been like in and off, soft as can be. Now, we're a rep it more. I think we need to value shoot it more actually in practice. We may have taken it for granted that we're so good at it that maybe we've been talking more about defense and, being in the stance and talking, and we share something that can lose games as well. Defense loses games, but poor foul shooting can as well. That would have been a hell of a win over Minnesota if we would have made something.
Jake?
With Purdue having Spike, does that kind of alter or change how you guys game plan for them since he's been here for so long?
Yeah, I don't know what what he will share or what Matt asks him, and hopefully that is it's always a concern of coaches. One of my concerns about it in this league, transferring within, but it's a real issue, and we got to make sure that. We'll see how much they understand or what they do. Matt's pretty smart. We've coached against each other now for 10 consecutive years. I don't think Spike's going to tell him too much new. And we change like the wind anyhow, so we've changed a lot of our calls over time. So who knows what they can bring over.
And then Caleb Swanigan's a walking double-double. I mean, you're not really going to be able to stop him, but I mean, what's the key to maybe slowing him down?
But what he's added now, last year when we played them, we did not guard him in the perimeter. We tried to double as much as we could, or just clog up the paint with his man. The guy was guarding him, now he's becoming an elite three-point shooter. So he's just tough. You got to hope that ball doesn't bounce his way, because he gets his hands on it, it's over and it's in. But he also is he's an excellent passer. And there's a lot of, it's very difficult to defend him. I think he's very much like Nigel Hayes with just shooting the ball better from the foul line and from the perimeter. So it's tough for us to defend.
Over here with Nick.
Kind of going off that, Isaac Haas, what challenge do you think he's going to pose?
He's just, you know what they do a great job is it's 4 out, 1 in motion, and you front on one side, and you know, it's another area code to get around to get to the top side of him. I mean, he just does a great job of sealing. He gets easy baskets that you can't stop. Last year, he took Mo Wagner and just like, you know, Mo would be on one side and Mo would never see the other side. So he's just so big, and he's got such good hands, and he draws fouls. He's a good foul shooter. That's a concern for us, and we'll have to do the best we can to make sure he doesn't get easy baskets, but he will.
Brendan?
And on Swanigan, last year, here at least, it was Zach on
Mhm.
it. I'm curious, I mean, you got the two bigs in there, obviously, but would that even be considered again?
Well, they play, you know, they don't play as much that way with the two of them. It's only about 13 minutes a game that both of them are at the same time. So when he's the 5-man, he'll play as we'll play him as a 5-man. When he's a 4-man, you know, between DJ, Zach, Duncan, they'll have to find ways to guard him when they got the two in at the same time.
And their three-point shooting, I mean, all the attention is to
Yeah.
collapse down, but
No.
taking that extra step out in the
No,
perimeter.
they're leading us with in the league, 3-pointers made per game. They're right with us, 10 a game, 9 point something a game. So no, that's and the Klein hit 2 threes against Penn State that really were the daggers to help them beat Penn State. Now they're very much, maybe more so than ever, about having that balance now of having. They've usually had 1 or 2 shooters you had to get. Now they got really at times 5 shooters on the perimeter, and 4 when Haas is in. It's a real concern to be able to guard both.
Rachel?
John, going back to, you say you talk to your son almost every day.
Yeah.
What kind of advice are you giving him down the stretch? What kind of advice is he giving you?
You know, the stuff that I wish I would do better with my team.
Okay.
I say, you know, keep them fresh, keep them positive. Don't take any, you know, make sure that they understand the, I do this with my team though, to make sure they understand this stuff just doesn't happen where you're healthy, you got good runs, you win a lot of close games. Some days you get unhealthy and you lose a lot of close games, and it had nothing to do with coaching. So make sure your kids understand the diligence, their dedication and sacrifice off the court. Because next year they could have even a better team and they get 2 injuries or the ball doesn't bounce their way and their whole season could change.
Why is that advice important, especially now
Yeah,
with your team?
yeah, it's just as I look at it from the long range, when we've had some great runs with teams, I don't think we realized until it's many years later how fortuitous those things were, and that we're so happy that we were in position physically and mentally to do it. But if the kids are taking this for granted, and they're not getting enough sleep, they're not eating right, they're not working hard in practice, it's gone in a second.
Andrew?
I know athletes are creatures of habit. How much does, a senior day, the festivities pregame, maybe mess with the routine or?
Yeah, I don't know. I think everybody's different. I think we've seen guys come in here and just have great senior nights. And I hope that happens, but it's not for us. It's not about, this game about a game, and maybe I'm a Scrooge on this thing. It's about win one more game. I mean, hopefully we have several more games to play, the regular season and postseason, playoffs and postseason, tourney and postseason. So, but it's great to have their moment, to get their jersey and celebrate this last time in this locker room, last time out there. But there's a lot more highlights hopefully left in the season than just senior night.
Back over to Kevin. I know you mentioned that Haas and Swanigan only play about 13 minutes on the floor together, but after facing Happ and Hayes twice, is there stuff that Mo and DJ can carry over?
Oh, no, we've learned a lot from that, and I mean, we watched all the video from last year as well, because they did play both of them together last year more because they also had Hammonds too. So that double, twin tower type of defense. Now, we didn't have DJ last year in that, and DJ's done a good job and on the post, probably even better than he has done on the perimeter as far as guarding a big guy. He did a great job on the kid from Rutgers the other day, and so it's at least we have that we have an extra weapon there with a little bit of size to try and defend. But it's not going to be easy. What do you get? They're going to get put back sometimes just because of the size of Haas. They're going to play high-low. When you have a kid like Swanigan can really pass in the high-low game, a lot of times you can shut that out, or he can't shoot. You can shut that out. I don't see a weakness right there. I don't see any weakness. The weakness, I hope the ball bounces our way. That's going to have to be the weakness.
Mark?
With Muhammad improving these last couple of games and Derek obviously playing a high level,
Yeah.
is that keeping Xavier, even though he had made progress, I mean, you're not getting as much minutes for him or do you want to kind of get to the point where they're more balanced?
Yeah, I would like to play Xavier in the second half. I just think when it was his turn to go in the other day, Rutgers was starting to run. And I just didn't, it's usually that 12 to 9 minute mark to 8 minute mark that Xavier gets in there. And so Rutgers was looking pretty good at that time. So I didn't want, with TV time outside, not to do it. But I think it depends on the nature of the game, but no issue putting him in there, but it's still gonna be a ways before he can get where he's gonna take minutes from those two. If we can get those guys, 32 to 35 minutes a game, I'm really comfortable with that. So somewhere he's gotta come up with 6 or 7.
Anything else? That'll do it.
All right, thanks.